NFL Week 1 is finally here. Let's freaking get it. I'm excited. I know you guys are probably excited as well. We get to see our favorite teams finally in action. After a long offseason, the football offseason just takes so freaking long. Like the NBA, it feels like there's like a quicker, ramp up. The NFL, it's like, hey, you gotta wait 6 months. You wait half the year for this to come back, and then it feels like it just goes so quickly. But we are just a couple days away. We're 2 days away from the Ravens-Chiefs game, and then Sunday night and Sunday morning, we are getting football. And Friday, technically. Packers and the Eagles get to play on Friday. But every other game is on Sunday. I'm excited for this. We're gonna go ahead and pick every game today. I'm going to give you guys my picks of wins and losses. I'm not going to go in like full analysis mode, but I'm going to go over who I think is going to win and kind of why very briefly. But I am very excited for this slate. There is a good amount of games. If you guys want to go ahead and predict with me, go ahead and type down in the comment section below the people you think are going to win, the people you guys think are going to lose, the matchup of the week. What game do you think is going to be the most exciting? But let's go ahead and dive right into this. This should be a fun one. As you guys see, we have the week 1 slate over here where we have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This game I think is going to be very exciting. I honestly cannot wait for this. Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. This is what, the AFC Championship game where the Chiefs won 17-10. So this is going to be very exciting. There's a lot here. The Ravens upped with Derrick Henry, so that is going to be a fantastic backfield. Lamar and Derrick Henry is terrifying for opposing defenses. Then you got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and they are the reigning Super Bowl champions. So this game doesn't really mean a lot, but it is a kind of statement game for both of these teams. And if I had to pick, I think I'm going to rock Kansas City. I want Baltimore to win it. Unfortunately, got KC. It is what it is, man. I'm so sick of watching them win. It's kind of like the Patriots. I mean, they're a dynasty. You know, you want to see someone actually win it that's not the Chiefs, but it's just every single year, year in and year out. The one time that Patrick Mahomes lost was to Joe Burrow, and Burrow lost in the Super Bowl with the Bengals. So that is a tough one. I mean, Tom Brady and Joe Burrow were the only one to eliminate him for the playoffs. It's greatness. I gotta call it how it is. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have been phenomenal. They are a dynasty going for a three-peat, and I think they're gonna get it done week 1. Then we go over to the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. This is going to be a Brazil game. Jalen Hurts versus Jordan Love and his Packers. I think it's gonna be a fantastic game. I think both of these teams are gonna be highly competitive this year. The Packers, I think, struggle with wide receivers, which the Eagles do not. They have a plethora of guys. Jahan Dotson, Devonta Smith, and then they also have A.J. Brown with Dallas Goedert. The Green Bay Packers don't face those kind of problems, having too much talent. But I think Jordan Love is a fantastic quarterback. He's able to get it done, and the back half of the season looked phenomenal. And I think in week 1 they are going to pull off the upset. This is definitely going to be an upset because the Eagles are stacked. They just got a ton of talent. They got Saquon Barkley. They re-upped the defense. It feels like they just swap players in and out. They are really good at that. I must give the Eagles credit. I think they are going to win the division this year, but they are going to drop this one in week 1. Then we have a division matchup. The New Orleans Saints versus the Carolina Panthers. Derek Carr and Bryce Young are going at it in a division matchup, and I want to pick the Panthers so bad. I love Bryce Young. Think he's a fantastic quarterback. I just think you guys have to keep building that offense. You guys have Deontay Johnson now. Finally got him a legit wide receiver to throw the ball to. Him and Adam Thielen, Xavier Legette. I kind of like what you guys are building down there. Then you also drafted Jonathan Brooks, so he has a running back as well. And then the Saints, I think, are a sleeper team this year. I think they have a chance to win 8-9 games. So I'm going to say they pull off the win right here. I'm not the biggest believer in Derek Carr, but I think they have a lot of talent defensively, and their receiving core is decent. I love Chris Olave. I think Alvin Kamara is very good. So I think they're going to put something together this year and actually surprise a lot of people. Carolina actually might be better than most people expect too. Then we're going to move over to the S-Fest of the week, the game that probably nobody wants to watch unless you're a Vikings or a Giants fan. This game is not going to be very interesting, but I still think the Vikings are better than the Giants. J.J. McCarthy or not, I think Sam Darnold is better than Daniel Jones. I think talent-wise, the Vikings kill the Giants. The Giants defense is solid, and they have a couple pieces offensive line-wise that I think are decent, but like outside of that, man, they just lost Saquon Barkley. They have Malik Neighbors, and they also have Daniel Jones, which is not a good thing. I think he's the worst quarterback in the league, and I think they're going to drop this one. Justin Jefferson's going to put numbers on these boys, so if you have him in fantasy, that is probably a massive W. Then we have the Patriots versus the Bengals. I think the Patriots are the worst team in football. It is not even close. Throw the dub on the Bengals. I think they're going to be very good, a 10+ win team right here, and I'm not going to talk about this too much. This is going to be a dominant game for Cincy. Then we move over to the Steelers-Falcons, where the Falcons are probably favored. I'm not sure how the betting odds are looking on this, but I'm actually going to shock y'all. I'm going to say the Steelers win. win this. I think Russell Wilson's actually going to will this team into success. Mike Tomlin doesn't have losing seasons. He has never had a losing season. So with Russell Wilson, there hasn't been a massive time in training camp because he was injured for the majority of it, but I think he's going to come in here. He's going to be fine. They have George Pickens, just got an extension done with Cam Hayward. Of course, they have TJ Watt, and this could go either way. The Falcons are a very talented team, but I'm just not buying into it this season. I think they are a like 7, 8, 9 win team. They're somewhere in that range. A lot of people are saying they're going to win the division with ease. That could very well happen, but I'm not going to say it does today. I'm going to say they fall week 1 to Pittsburgh. Then we go over to a matchup that is probably going to be very good. Another division game. You gotta love the AFC South. I think it's going to be very competitive this year. Houston looks like the runaway team, but I think the Colts and the Jaguars both are going to be putting up fights, and I think the Texans are insane on talent. CJ Stroud is a fantastic quarterback. If you don't believe in the hype, I think you are tripping. He does so many things on tape that are just unworldly. Like, there's so many signs that point to him not being a bust. He does so many things right. CJ Stroud, I believe in him. Anthony Richardson coming back from injury. Hopefully he can play more than 5 games. I'm gonna say the new re-upped Houston Texans take this one, and I think it is going to be very close. This is probably going to be within 6 points. It's going to be within 1 score. So if you want competitive football, this is a game I would definitely tune into. Then we have my Cardinals versus Bills, where I'm gonna slap that dub on. If you guys want to see my full preview of this game, I literally made a video on it. Big Cardinals fan. The whole channel's dedicated to Cardinals NFL. If you want to check that out, you can, but I think the Cardinals are going to pull off an upset, and this game is also going to be way more competitive than people are giving it praise for. The Bills were the favorite, and it's not even close. So tune into this one for good football as well. Then we have the Bears versus the Titans. I am not a Titans believer whatsoever. I think the Bears are way more talented. The Titans did re-up. Actually, I don't know. The Titans did re-up a lot everywhere. They just got L'Jarius Sneed. They got Calvin Ridley. They got weapons for Will Levis. DeAndre Hopkins is there. They just got Tony Pollard. So maybe I'm misspoken, but I'm still going to rock the Bears regardless. This one might be actually way more competitive than I was giving it credit for at the start. This might be like a 3-point game, and this could be a swing either way. So I'm not sure, but I'm going to rock the Bears. That's a gut feeling today. And then we have the Jaguars versus the Dolphins. I'm giving the dub to the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are going to win the division, and that is crazy with Houston. I get that. And they have the Colts too. Like, I completely understand where you're like, you're crazy. I am a Trevor Lawrence believer. I believe in Trevor Lawrence when he's fully healthy. He looked good in the beginning of the season, then he had that injury, and then the back half did not look good whatsoever. Miami is one of the best teams in the NFL, definitely a top 15 team with an insane offense, but are they going to be able to keep this up? I don't know. I think it's going to be competitive, but I have Jacksonville walking away. Then we have Denver versus Seattle. We don't need to talk about this one too much. I am going Seattle win. I think Denver is a bottom 6 team in the league, so I think Seattle's not in that category. I think they are a bottom 15, but I think Seattle does have talent offensively that is going to shred the Broncos. Love Pat Surtain, Bo Nix. We're going to find out what he's made of and if Sean Payton made the right decision, but I think Seattle walks away with this one, and it's not going to be really close. Then we move over to the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Raiders. Another division game. This is like the 3rd one, I believe, unless I went over one and I just completely whiffed. I'm rocking Chargers. Jim Harbaugh's first game back in the NFL with Jay Herbo, who I think is a top 5, top 6 quarterback in the league. And I think the Raiders could give people a lot of problems because they played a lot of teams well, but their quarterback situation was not handled. They have Gardner Minshew. I mean, he's all right. Chargers got some depth on the line, man. They gutted their receivers. They have nobody to throw the ball to, but for some reason, I'm thinking they get this done. I think it's going to be a 10+ point win for the Chargers. Could be completely wrong. Could be a 10-point win for the Raiders, but that's what I'm going to rock with. Then we have a game that could be very interesting. I'm not buying into the Dallas hype. I think Dallas has no run game. I don't think Dak Prescott is phenomenal. I don't hate him, but I don't think he's a phenomenal quarterback. He was in the MVP running, which shows how weak it was. And the Browns are without Nick Chubb, but I think Deshaun Watson is going to have a bounce back year. I think he is going to kind of revert back to that Houston Deshaun Watson, and I think they're going to get the dub. I know they don't have Nick Chubb. They're rocking Jerome Ford, but they still have a lot of threats like Amari Cooper, David Njoku, and that defense is insane. They got a top 5 defense, and I think they're going to shut down Dallas and get something done. Then we have the Commanders versus the Bucs, which is a low-key sleeper game. I kind of like this matchup. I don't think I'd pick it over Browns Cowboys, but this is definitely a sleeper. I think this is going to be a very competitive football team. Sorry, I think they're both going to be very competitive. I think they're both kind of on the same tier, like that 6 to 8 win range is kind of where they're going to fall in. And as a Cardinals fan, this is Cliff's return back to the NFL and a different team, and we get to play them, so that's going to be very interesting. I think Washington is decent. I think Jaden Daniels is going to struggle a little bit coming into the NFL. That's kind of my prediction. Could be way off on that. I'm going to say Tampa Bay with their veteran experience. Oh, you guys just saw preview. Maybe you didn't, but I'm rocking a Tampa Bay W to start this, and Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are going to get this thing going right to start week 1. Then we have the Rams-Lions, another fantastic game on paper. This was an insane playoff game. Matthew Stafford versus the Detroit Lions, and I think the Rams are going to bounce back, man. I think both teams could be pretty sneaky. I had the Rams finishing like 7-8 wins this year, but who knows, man. They have Matthew Stafford, who I think is a top 5 quarterback, and he rips that thing, and I think the Lions are going to start the season a little shaky. A lot of people have them just winning the division with ease. I think Green Bay has a legit chance to take it. I think Matthew Stafford's coming for vengeance, and I think he's going to get it done. Then we go to the final game of the slate, which you guys already probably saw. I have San Francisco winning this. This is going to be a very highly competitive game as long as Aaron Rodgers doesn't pop his Achilles the first 5 plays into the game. I think San Francisco has a legit shot to win the Super Bowl once again. They got deals done with all their guys. Trent Williams is back. Brandon Ayuk is back. They just have to stay healthy. They stay healthy, they're going to be solid. They lost Dre Greenlaw. They're going to be without him for the first couple weeks of the season, maybe till the playoffs. But it should be a good one, and I'm definitely going to be tuning into this one. Aaron Rodgers, I want to see what he actually looks like on the Jets. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. So definitely will be tuning into this, but I have San Francisco taking the win, and this is my slate. Let me know how you guys are feeling about it down in the comment section below. I'm sure there are some things you guys disagree with, so whatever they are, drop those comments down below. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, that is going to wrap it up, man. Consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content. So if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.